Hello and welcome back to, this is part 3 of our Christmas cupcakes demonstrations. So today we're going to have a go at making the Snowman cupcake. You may remember we've already done the Father Christmas and the Mrs. Claus cupcakes. So today is the turn of the Snowman. I can see a few people are coming in, which is fabulous. So please do feel free to say hello in the comments and give me a little wave. So this one, let's count them back again, is slightly different. You may have remembered with the Father Christmas and Mrs. Claus, we used a domed cupcake effect. So they came up a little bit with a bit of a dome. This one, if I just hold it that way, you might be able to see, is actually quite flat. Okay, so this one is called a flat iced cupcake rather than a domed cupcake. Hello Gaia, thank you for joining us live. Brilliant to see you. I hope you're having a nice Saturday. So the way we're going to do this is we are going to, hello Alison, and hello Sarah. Oh, lots of people joining today, fabulous. I've just got some buttercream in here. We don't need as much this time. You may remember on the Father Christmas and Mrs. Claus, I put quite a large amount in the middle, but this time, just a small amount, and we're just going to gently spread it backwards and forwards. We're just looking to give the cupcake a little bit of a cover. You may have noticed I already had a little bit of buttercream on mine. This is because I've baked these in advance rather than baking fresh cupcakes for each demonstration. So the way to keep it a little bit fresh was to just put a small crumb coat on. So you can see there, look, I haven't got that domed effect like we did for the others. Okay, so we're going to cover this one in white. So I've got a little bit of white paste here. Okay, so a few more people, thank you. And of course, yes, Gaia, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for coming to see me on your birthday in my live as well. That is brilliant. And hello to Aisha. And you've been cake decorating this morning as well. That's fabulous. Love it when you're keen. So this is just normal white sugar paste. Just kneading it to get it quite soft and pliable. I'm going to pop a bit of corn flour just in on my board, just to stop the paste sticking, and then we're going to give it a roll out. So again, like we did with the other two cupcakes, we're going for a thickness of probably about 2 to 3 millimeters. We don't want it too thick, but then we don't want it too thin. So just imagining, really, the way I like to think about it is just think about how much sugar paste you would like to eat on top of your cupcake. If you're a huge sugar paste fan, you might want yours to be a bit thicker than somebody else. Okay, so we've got that nice and smooth. We're going to use that same pastry cutter, so we're using the same cutter for each one, just in the centre there, and give it a little bit of a wiggle around. Okay, remove the excess. Again, when you're doing it at home, remember to put your excess back into a plastic bag to keep it safe and to stop it from drying out. I'm not keeping it safe, it's not going to go anywhere, but stop it drying out. And then just pick up your topper there, in the cupcake bag, and we're just going to gently lay it centred in the middle. And this time, do you remember last time we was kind of stroking it around? This time we're going to keep our hand flat, and we're just going to, it's easier if I pick it up, with your flat palm, okay, we're just going to polish it around at the top. Now it might stick over the edge a little bit, okay, but don't worry about that, that's absolutely fine. You can always just tuck it under a little with your hand. Okay, and again, the warmth of your hand is fabulous at just giving that a really nice smooth finish. Okay, so that's how to flat ice your cupcake, and now we're going to start doing some of the features. So we're going to start off with the hat. I'm going to use blue coloured paste, but you can use any colour that you like to. You could do a whole set of snowmen with different coloured hats, which would be quite sweet. Or a Mr. and Mrs. Snowman or whatever. You don't have to do all the different assorted ones if you don't want to. So again, just kneading that nice and soft. I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques for the hat. Okay, a little bit of corn flour on your board. For those of you who are cake decorators, I know some of the people watching are quite new to cake decorating and perhaps haven't got a lot of different tools and a lot of different equipment. So for those of you who don't have a lot of equipment. I'm going to show you how to do the hat like this. Okay, so just a plain hat. I'm also going to demonstrate how to do a knitted effect using a silicone mould. So we'll do this one first. So again, just keep your paste moving to make sure it's not sticking. And I'm going to use that same cutter just to cut out a circle. Keep that paste to one side because we're going to use that in a moment. And all you would do is you would just cut this in half, just like when we did the Father Christmas hat. Okay. I'm not going to stick this on because, as I say, I'm going to show you it two different ways. So I'm just going to lay it on. So you would have your hat covering the top half of your cupcake. And then with this excess paste, we're just going to cut a strip, probably about 1 centimetre thick, something like that, 1 centimetre, 1.5 centimetres. And to make this kind of ribbed effect across here, all I've done with my knife is just gently pressed it in. So you need to be careful because we're not going all the way through. You're not cutting it and cutting bits off. So just really lightly press your knife in, and that just gives you a bit of an effect like that, as if it's a ribbed cuff around. Can't think of the word. And then again, that would just lay over on your cupcake, and you would trim the excess, and that's how you would make quite a plain, simple hat. Okay, but like I said, I'm going to show you also how to do it if you happen to have a knitted silicone mat as well, because that gives it a really nice effect. So this one is a Katie Sue Designs mould. This is a knitted texture mould. It comes in different types of textures. I think there's 2 or 3 different knitted ones that you can get. So I'm just kneading this paste back together. And I'm just going to roll it out again. Again, you might need to put a little bit more corn flour down. This is not too bad. Okay, just really carefully. And then onto your silicone mat, your texture mat. Again, we're just going to put a little bit of corn flour to stop it sticking. And then just top off any excess. And then we're going to lay the paste over the top of the mat. And we're just going to roll with our rolling pin. Just making sure it doesn't stick to the pin. Okay, so just roll that along. And then you'll see you've got a knitted texture. Hopefully you can see that okay. There we are. So then all we're going to do again, exactly the same way we did before. We're going to cut out our circle first. This time you need to pay attention to which way the texture is going when you cut it in half. So it needs to be with the rows of knitted texture going across. And this time I am going to stick it on because I'm going to do this one as a textured hat. So a little bit of water just on the top half there. Again, I'm keeping this this knitted texture bit. I'm just going to lay that along the top half of the cupcake, and that's going to make his hat. And then to make the band going across, I'm going to use the excess again and just cut through. Now I would have preferred it, see if I can do it that way, to have the knitted effect going the opposite way for this one, as if it's been turned over. Okay, so again, just trim off a little bit of excess. Some water on here. And then pop his band across the top there. Okay, so you can see with the two together, look, it just gives it a bit of a different texture, like so. And I'm not very good, it's a long time since I've done any knitting, so I've probably got the knitted texture the wrong way around, to which it should be, but I think it'll look fine both ways. So then we're going to go on to the features for the cupcake. So this one's a really, really simple one. This one would be fabulous for doing with children if you've got any children that are looking for something to do. Okay, so I'm going to use a ball tool, but again, you could use the end of your paintbrush, and we're just going to mark 2 little holes for his eyes. So just move the top of his hat there. I'm going to do one here and one here. Now it's up to you, again, depending on whether you're a cake decorator or not. I have these little black sugar pearls, I'll just take them out, they're by PME, and these are 7mm, so these are quite big ones, you can get smaller ones as well. Hope you can see that before they run off my hand. So these are really useful because you can just pop those straight in. They're exactly the same size, and you don't have to worry about rolling paste to be the wrong size. But again, not everybody has those, so you can use, that's what I've used on this one. But on this one I'm going to use just some black sugar paste. So again, knead that through. And then to make the two balls, or the two eyes, the same size, I'm just going to take a piece of paste off, to roll it into a ball. And you can see that's far too big for an eye, so don't worry, it's going to make two. I'm going to cut that in half, and that way it helps you to determine the two eyes are the same size. So we've got one, and then roll the other one into a ball. Okay, there's your two. And then they would just pop in. Now I can see straight away that they are quite big actually. If I pop one of those next to my sugar pearls that I was using. Okay, put it on there so you can see the difference. It's quite a huge difference. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use just one of these eyes. I'm going to cut that in half, and then that will give me two eyes that are smaller, if that makes sense. So let's see, there's my knife. So that's why it's good not to put the water or the glue in first, because it gives you a chance to just adjust the sizes to make sure it's a good fit. So this time, that's much better. Again, a little ball. Because this sugar paste is quite soft, it will actually just stay in place. You can pop a little bit of water in if you need to, but to be honest, you should be okay. So it's got two little eyes there. We're going to do the mouth next. Two choices again, because I like to give you different ways of doing things, different techniques. So I have got my Dresden tool. I think this is what I used when we did Mrs. Claus. And all I did with Mrs. Claus is I just drew a line with my Dresden tool, just indenting the mouth in there like so. Now some people might struggle a little bit with getting a curved line. It's quite easy to do a straight line with a Dresden tool, but when you're trying to do a curved line, it can be a bit tricky. Another thing you can use instead is if you've got any piping nozzles or piping tips. This is quite a big one. This is a 2M. It's used for doing the swirls on cupcakes. Okay, so what you can do is if you just start here and you can roll the piping tip along, and you'll see that should give you quite a cute little mouth. So that's another way of doing it. I'm just going to look a bit further around. There we go. So there he is. So obviously the harder you press, the deeper it's going to go in the paste and the wider the mouth will be. So if you just want quite a petite mouth, just do it very, very gently. And then at each end, either with the end of your paintbrush or with a small ball tool, you can just pop a little indent, just like little dimples at the side there. Okay. And now we're going to go on to his carrot nose. So I've just got some orange sugar paste here that I've coloured up, just using some orange Pro Gel colouring paste, gel colours. If you don't have those, if you're using shop bought, so sort of from the supermarket or from Lakeland, those kinds of stores, if you're buying kind of the primary colours of coloured paste that are easy to find, just mix some red and some yellow together to make your orange. Okay, so as long as you have a good set of coloured paste, so your blue, your red, your yellow, a black and a white, you can mix almost any shade that you need. Okay, so a small ball of orange. I'm going to roll it into a ball first, and then just with my finger here on an angle, I'm just going to roll that. So can you see I'm not touching this side, just this side, and it rolls it into a nice pointy carrot shape like that. If I pop it on the board, you might see it a bit better, hopefully. And then all we're going to do with either your Dresden tool, or you can use a knife as well, we're just going to press onto the carrot just to make some little marks, little grooves. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, you can just stick it on, oops, as it is, but you might be able to see the top bit is quite wide there. Look, it sticks up quite a lot, and it sticks kind of really flat to the cupcake. So if you, from the thick end, if you just cut down at an angle, remove some of that paste, pop a little bit of water ready for sticking, just under his eyes there. If you pop too much on, just use your finger to take any excess off. And then if you put that little edge that you've just cut, you'll see it makes his nose stick up then. Can you see that, look? So rather than the nose just laying flat against the cupcake, it's actually sticking up a bit, which gives him a little bit more character. And then the final thing that we need to do, as I said, I did tell you it was a really simple one, this one, is we're going to just dust his cheeks, give him a nice little rosy glow. So again, I've just got some pink dust. If you don't have any of these, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. It's not an essential part of the cupcake. It just gives it a little bit more detail. And as I said before, wipe off the excess on your kitchen towel first, because otherwise it's going to end up looking like Aunt Sally. For anybody who doesn't know, that was a character in Wurzel Gummidge with very, very red cheeks. Okay, and then just dust the cheeks there. And there he is. So there's our snowman. Like I say, quite a quick and simple one today. So I hope you've enjoyed it. The next live is going to be on Thursday evening again. And I'll quickly get, this is what we're going to be making. We're going to be making the little elf. So here's the last one of our domed cupcakes. You can see, look, is another domed one. So he's very similar to Father Christmas and to Mrs. Claus. So he's next, and then we will have Rudolf and also the Polar Bear, I believe it is. So they are flat iced ones like the snowman. So we are now halfway through, so that's 3 of them done, 3 more to go. I really hope you've enjoyed watching these quick tutorials. I'd also, just before I finish, just want to say a really huge thank you. Quite a few people have been ordering, I told you at the last demo, the paid for class that I'm doing, the online class. Okay, so this is just Santa. There is 6 models altogether that you can make in the online class that I'm doing later this month. Again, it's a Facebook live again, but it's within a private group, a separate group from this one. So you'll be able to learn how to make those. They will be done in 3 live demos, so you don't have to sit through me making like 3-4 hours worth of stuff at once. There'll be separate demos with a break in between. Same setup as this, they'll be available to watch again afterwards. And they're just really cute. So there's Christmas characters and Christmas animals. But as I say, I just wanted to say a huge thank you, because following on from me actually putting them on the website, I think it was on Thursday, already quite a few people have bought them. So I'm really pleased, and I can't wait to do those. So I'm hoping you'll be able to join me again on Thursday for the free elf cupcake topper class. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your weekend as well. So thanks ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.